We all have that console we're most nostalgic for. Mine happens to be the Super Nintendo. We also have opinions. My opinions happen to be facts, so I thought I'd give you the wonderful gift of spreading these facts to you in these short little mini reviews for every single game I played as a kid in some form or fashion. Most reviews are going to cover 3 to 5 games, but there'll be a few exceptions here and there. Anyways, let's just get started. Kirby's Avalanche is not your traditional Kirby game. In fact, it's not even really a Kirby game. Kirby gutted Puyo Puyo and put on its skin, but in a super cute way. Right away, the game starts off with an intro that sets the tone.
Kirby's Avalanche.
For those of you that don't know, Puyo Puyo is a puzzle game where you match colors and try to create combos to drop bricks on your opponent to ruin their day. It's a fun game in short bursts, at least for me. I am garbage at this game and had a panic attack against the training mode opponents. The story mode difficulty has training, medium, and hard. King Dedede being the final boss, I assume. I never really made it there, but it would make sense. When you go against opponent, you get a very enthused
Bronto Bert.
announcer telling you who you're up against, followed by a bit of story. The story's filler, it's basically, hey, let's play Puyo Puyo. Okay, let us do it. The announcer's my favorite part though. As I said before, they are pretty energetic for the most part, except for Waddle Doos. It's easily the best part of the game. Just listen to this.
Waddle Doo.
I really don't know why I enjoy hearing that as much as I.
Waddle Doo.
During gameplay, you get some amazing remixes of Kirby music. These are worth a listen if you enjoy the series soundtrack. There isn't really much to talk about gameplay wise, however. It's kind of what you see is what you get. It's fun to get big combos and drop some heavy bricks, hearing the loud thud go off on the board, and watch Kirby dancing and swimming around. But I'm not really the biggest fan of this game. It's hard for me to recommend this one to Kirby fans, only really to Puyo Puyo fans. If you're both a fan of Puyo Puyo and Kirby, this game is perfect for you. Before we move on to the next game, I do have a story tied to this one. This was literally the very first item I bought off of eBay when I was a kid. I rented Kirby Superstar all the time. Like every chance we got to rent games, I rented that one. Then I discovered this game browsing the early days of the internet for Kirby Superstar. I think that one was too pricey and this one was cheaper or something like that. So I excitedly bought this one, not knowing literally anything about it. I could have did some research, but again, it was early days of internet and I was a stupid kid. I remember the day I got it, being so happy I got a package. I put it in my system, played it for 2 minutes, and felt super betrayed by Kirby. I never even heard of Tetris at this point, so puzzle games weren't really my thing. Up next, we have a game I have a love-hate relationship with. I was never too big into the Doom series because I never had a chance to play them. Most of my knowledge of the games come from watching Derek the Happy Video Game Nerd, well, when he went by that name. My first time actually playing Doom was on a device called an iRiver, which was a bulky, ugly ripoff of an iPod that my brother gave to me after he was done with it. It was a weird way to experience the series, and probably a big reason why I never really explored much of it. However, when I was back into collecting games, I saw Doom. It was a red Super Nintendo cartridge, which was kinda rare, and it was Doom, so I thought to myself, sure, why not? Let's start off with the high points. The soundtrack is absolutely amazing. Doom has some amazing music, and this port did those songs justice. Outside the music, the game is pretty meh. Walking around, I feel like hell froze over because I'm slip-sliding my way around town. The visuals are offensive. Trying to spot an enemy in the distance who is shooting at you, but you can't find them because there are only 3 pixels is pretty frustrating. However, I still have a good amount of fun anytime I boot this one up. Yeah, it's a pretty bad port of a classic, yet it's so fun. The controls can feel frustrating at first, but you get used to them, and once you do it almost starts to feel kind of good. Learning levels so that you can open fire at the invisible enemies, walk up and see 5 corpses on the ground render in, it's almost a rewarding feeling. I did find that I got stuck on various things a lot. Also, the game has a weird auto-aim type thing to it because you can't shoot besides where you're looking at. I felt like it worked 95% of the time, but other times I was left confused as to why the enemy didn't die. Secrets in the levels are fun to find and look for, and from what I've read, this port has a good amount of content in it. If you're already a fan of the original Doom, try this game. If you want to get into the series from the start, play the original or play another port like the PS1 port. Lastly, we're going to talk about a sports game. Now, I'm not much of a sports fan, but my brother was, so I played quite a few in the genre. NBA Jam is by far the best of the best on the SNES when it comes to sports. Even if you hate sports, I feel like you're going to love playing this game. The game has a pretty killer soundtrack, and if you aren't familiar with the players, it's alright because every player has stats that are right in front of your face. Teams consist of 2 players, and you can swap who you play as. Gameplay is pretty fast, and one bad move could easily throw the game. It has your standard basketball shots and rules, but way more arcadey, because it was an arcade game. Dunks are the funnest part of the game. They are way over the top. You can even break the backboard glass, which was always awesome to see as a kid. You have to manage a turbo meter. Pressing the shoulder buttons down uses turbo. Not only do you move faster, but allows you to do different actions. Turbo and steal makes you push them down, which you can do while they are in air, and a turbo pass makes it less likely to be stolen. If you go for a long range dunk and exhaust your turbo, your momentum will suddenly stop and you will just shoot the ball from where you stand. It's a pretty decent mechanic that adds some strategy to each action. Quarters are short, only 3 minutes long, and at halftime it breaks down your stats, which I loved. If you tie at the fourth quarter, you go into overtime, which is just another 3-minute rounds. This repeats until someone wins. My brother and I would compare who is doing what, and how little we utilized our computer partner. The game even had some secret characters you could play as, such as Al Gore and Bill Clinton, who can't land the 3 to save his life. God damn it, I should have won that game. If you make 3 consecutive shots without the opponent scoring, you become on fire. This basically just makes the ball become on fire, which makes sense, and gives you a higher chance to land your shots. There's also an announcer who has a few catchphrases like ugly shot and things like that. It's pretty entertaining, but can get boring real fast. All in all, this is a pretty great party game with friends, or if you don't have any friends, it's a great time waster if you're alone inside in quarantine because you can't leave your house because there's a pandemic going on in the outside world. What is happening? Please, someone save me. So yeah, that's about it. Let me know if you enjoyed this format. Give me some feedback. Let me know how I did. Let me know what I did wrong. And also, please let me know how to end a video.